Because of an epidemic, Earth is going back into the Middle Ages. Only 1% of the population is still alive, and there's no electricity. What skills or items do you have to help you survive the longest? I think I am with the 99%. Statistically speaking, 99% is a majority. Thank you, Peggy Hill. Tomorrow I teach you Mahjong. Bring your wallet. I can make soap, cheese, and beer, and if only 1% are alive, I can safely steal my neighbor's illegal still to make various alcohols. Why you gotta steal my still? I could make you some liquor and we can barter for that cheese. I might need some soap too. As of right now I am just putting ashes on my pans to clean them. I can food, I even have 3 pressure canners. We could share crop and work together to get a good harvest. However, if you want to steal something, some seeds and spices would be a start. As well as a shit ton of salt, sugar, flour, and oils. Not my web development skills, that's for sure. I am lying to myself that my superior logic will save me. There's no Google and Stack Overflow to refer to in the Middle Ages. They only had Yahoo, and seriously, duck that shit. Worse. It's Alta Vista. Finally, all those years of Boy Scouts is about to pay off. And, dead lol. Finally. Oh, sweet deliverance. Well, I have a bow and I know how to make another one. Bowires always had jobs in the Middle Ages. Was it making bows? They were also fantastic cooks. Edit, thanks for the silver. Pretty sure the whole archery thing came from shish kebab technique. The first archer, a former cook, stabbing all this meat by hand is really tedious. I wonder if there's a way to automate this. The kitchen must grow. Rule 102, where Teresa will, Teresa Factorio reference. Falconry has kinda fallen off in the last 600 years, but if it makes a mainstream comeback it'll be sittin' pretty. My work has a no birds of prey clause in the employee handbook now because someone kept bringing their falcon to work. What? Is it an environment where you would expect to see falcons? Used to be. That's falcon hilarious. So, why is there no electricity? Is it something I could fix? Because I can do that. Don't know, haha. That's what always happens in those apocalyptic movies, right? The power shuts down almost always. To be fair, in many cases, depending on the grid, it makes sense. Most fossil fuel plants have to have material brought in, so in an apocalypse a coal plant would run out of coal. However, if your part of the grid is primarily wind, water, or solar, you should be fine. Eucor type I don't think any grid can run without supervision. Finding a generator or setting up a solar power system isn't that hard, though. Generators will last a couple of years before fuel spoils, so raid those solar retailers far and wide. And find an electric vehicle while you're at it. Over here I could make a fairly large system, if I could just rob stores, with about a 25-year nominal lifespan. I don't think any grid can run without supervision. I'd be willing to concede that they can't run indefinitely without maintenance. Even with solar you'll have to clean the panels and inspect them for damage, replacing parts when necessary, but that isn't that hard for someone who knows what they're doing to do. Also, who would want to kill the guy providing electricity, when all he asks for in return is to not die, and perhaps some companionship? Also, who would want to kill the guy providing electricity? The people who think killing him will allow them to take all his electricity. That goose has got to be filled with golden eggs. I'd be dead within half an hour. I'd be dead within 15 minutes. Lamau, I'd be dea. Salutations, Toast Man. That's official Toast Man to you. Immunity to what killed everyone else. It was an STD, that's why. Oh, so most of Reddit survives. This scenario is really taking shape. And then Reddit is left to rebuild society. Dear God, tut'd be a shit show. I was a Boy Scout. I can tie knots. Look at this guy, thinks has captain of teen knots, whenever anyone needs a knot tied they go to him. I'm a fairly decent archer. Provide me with food and it'll give you free time at the brothel I plan on opening. God has left the chat. Robert Kelly has entered the chat. Edit, I meant Robert the First got the name wrong. I've watched a lot of primitive technology videos. Edit, as people have commented, asked, sure, I haven't actually made anything from videos myself yet, but I remember off the top of my head the basic concepts to a lot of what I have seen. I wouldn't be able to make things perfectly first time, it would take some trial and error before I was successful, but life is a learning process. I've watched so many of those and only like 2 months ago realized that he had subtitles to explain what he was doing. Me and my fiancé just guessed all the time. We felt like morons, still do. I'm a geologist, so I could identify likely locations of ore deposits. I also work in a mine, so I know a fair bit about mineral extraction, mine engineering and metallurgy. I know enough to find an iron copper gold deposit, separate the ore minerals and at least have a go at smelting them into a usable state. However, the smelting of iron requires a fair bit more effort and technology than copper or gold. Although if this scenario involves humanity just regressing to a medieval level of technology development rather than straight up time travel to the past, this might be significantly more difficult as the large majority of easy to find and exploit economic mineral deposits have already been found and exploited. Most gold mines are deep underground these days. A few thousand years ago gold ores were just laying around, outcropping on the surface just waiting for someone to come along and take the easy pickings. I'm small so don't take up a lot of space and honestly can go unnoticed in a lot of bad situations. I also make a great follower and know how to not be annoying, so we'll find someone competent and be on their team for survivorship. Are you a hobbit by any chance? No, they said they know how not to be annoying. L. Are you an orc by any chance? No, they're clearly literate. If orcs can read menus, they can post on Reddit. For starters, I'd try and make my way to Boulder. Reply or Vegas, if you lean that way. MON, that spells Vegas. I know how to preserve foods with canning and fermentation, as well as make wine. Every apocalypse has to have booze. Also known how to properly cull and butcher birds, fish and rabbits. We raise 2 kinds of poultry and adding a 3rd soon, and have meat rabbits. Currently have 2 apple, 6 peach, and multiple mulberries, all mature producing fruit trees, as well as blackberries, rhubarb, grapes and asparagus. Have a pretty good knowledge of wild food, 2 wells on the property, and know of a nearby large creek too. So I think while it would be a huge struggle, we could make it a long time. Edit, all of this is for my husband and kids. I wouldn't survive 6 months. Once my meds to control my autoimmune diseases ran out, another massive stroke or congestive HF would end me. Thankfully one of my daughters is totally into survivalist stuff, so teaching her the way has been fun. My meat business will clash with your wine business. Let's team up instead. Sounds like a great idea. Happen to know anyone with a still and knowledge on using it? Hell, might be better to just make frozen applejack every winter, a lot less work. Smile. I have used a still before, it's been a while though. I could probably knock together a simple one if I had a drum, some copper pipe and a welding torch. Cries in programming. You can be in charge of setting up a system of signal smoke fires across massive distances and connect allied cities by using your own combinations of ones and zeros. I mean, it's not exactly scripting, but it's still pretty useful. Smile. That's called Morse code. Well, technically Morse works with zeros, ones and twos. Wait. What? Short, long and pause, I suppose. I can fight with swords. Not much, but it's honest work. I keep a cutlass in my trunk because I don't have anywhere to put it, and why not? It's been there for years, but I've never once done a damn thing with it. The moment I need it, though, you best know I'm ready. I heard if cops find a baseball bat without a glove and ball, they give you a weapons charge. Be safe and put some severed hands in there so you can say you work loss prevention. Well, the coppers will be happy to know that I also have fireworks and rollerblades in my trunk to justify keeping myself ready to defend against an assailant. You're a horned helmet away from being the dragonborn of the post-apocalypse.